Hello! Today we are having an experiment that includes photo, so it will be self-portrait, a creative self-portrait. Materials we're going to use today, so definitely some print out photo, oil pastels that we use to transfer the photo to the paper, and I have watercolors for a flowery transparent part on the top, and also acrylics to finish up and maybe get some more solid parts. So first I would like you to plan. Yes, so take your paper. If it's more comfortable for you, you can also like maybe cut, but not necessary. But basically just plan where your head is gonna be. Yeah, so more or less somewhere on the lower part. So the upper part we can have as flowers and everything. And that's it. Now it's just like keeping this in mind. And the upper part of the paper, what we're gonna do? So you take a clean water and we're just gonna make it wet. Because we're gonna make some watercolor splashes. So we're gonna have like watercolor flowery effect. Yeah, but it's gonna be the base. Okay. So I'm just having here clean water and making wet the upper part of the paper. Yeah. This technique is called wet on wet. Is very common when painting with watercolors. Yeah, it just helps watercolor to float and having nice areas. Yeah? So paper is wet. Another thing what I would advise you to choose, again, choose maybe limited palette. So again, maybe something reddish purple, maybe something yellowish orange. Yeah, so not maybe all the colors at once, although it's also possible, but maybe one color more, maybe like lots of purple, pink, and then some little splashes of yellow or, yeah, so just like tasteful choice colors. Let's call it that way. Yeah. And then basically, again, we want watercolors to be really watery. So let me also think what I would like to choose. Okay, maybe I'll start also with some pinkish. And remember then with watercolor, you can also kind of lift your paper and have it moved. Yeah, so here, yeah, just splashing. Since there is water, I can also make it move. And my aim is to make here something fun and colorful. And then later we're gonna let it dry. And then we're gonna find some flowers or some patterns there. I'm using a lot help of the water. So I'm like splashing something and then going back with my brush and just adding some more watercolor dots. Use paper towel if there is, for example, something you're not happy about in your splashes. Then, of course, paper towel can just soak it in. basically just having fun. Yeah. You can also have color also at the bottom where we're gonna have the portrait. Why not? Yeah, like our face can also be in some fun colors. But of course, I advise you to have more those bright, colorful parts, of course, at the top, and the bottom can be more calm. And of course, we will be able to come back and, improve. So this is, consider it more now just like as the base, and that later can be improved either by watercolors again or acrylics. Yeah. And once you feel like, okay, it's more or less fine, you just let it dry. Yes, remember, paper towel is a nice helper. It also kind of helps creating some fun, nice textures. So today it's somehow realistic and abstract arts together. So we're taking realistic face, but we're going to convert it with some imaginary flowers, shapes. And I think it's always fun to experiment with self-portrait. If we study art history, we know so many artists were painting themselves. And I think the most famous is Rembrandt, one who did so many self-portraits along all his age, like since he started painting. And we can observe him young and old in self-interpretation. Also important moment, know when to stop. I've started implementing more and I feel it got worse. So watercolor is the medium where the secret to success is actually the less brush strokes you do, the better it looks. So you always try to mix watercolors that they kind of mix themselves. So you help them a bit, but not too much.
I'm done. Me too.
Super. Okay, let's leave it rest. And now we're taking our photos, turning them back. And we're going to be putting the oil pastel here. So later it gives us the print. So basically also choose the color of oil pastel that suits there well. Yeah, so it can be green, it can be blue, whatever color. So the color you will have the outlines of your face. And then with this color, so just I've put my oil pastel of taking the paper off, so it's more comfortable, and I'm using the sides. So like you can use like this, but it's also like quick way and yeah, just yeah, also change the direction. Yeah, and here, of course, don't feel like economy on the oil pastel. Of course, you can also check, like, let's say where your face is, and because you'll be outlining just your face. So if there are some areas that are just background, then of course you don't need to put so much effort in putting color there.
I did mine.
Okay, yeah. So now we're gonna try to transfer it onto the paper. So you definitely try to find, let's say, one position and hold it so it's not moving. Maybe even the tape can help you, just like some, so it's just like, but still like, so you can still lift it and check if it's working, yeah? So, okay, here, for example, I did 2 little tape parts. And then you just are, of course, doing the outline of your face, yeah? And then you see the magic, yeah? It's transitioning. Nice, like it. So I just took the pencil. I took it colorful so I can just see you can take any pencil, even the pen, because the idea is just pressing. Yeah, like this copy that we did. Later we're gonna just throw away. So it just helped transfer the image to the paper. Yeah? And you can also choose how detailed you want it. Yeah. And still later we're gonna correct our portrait. So we have these transfer lines. Then of course we can add a bit more already straight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we use this transferring technique with the aim that, of course, the portrait looks alike. Yeah, and portraits are pretty much difficult because if you get it wrong, like with few millimeters, then it's already looks like a different person. And so instead of drawing it, we just choose the transferring technique. Yeah, so of course, check from time to time how it's being transferred. Yeah, maybe you will want. Go, show me thumbs up. Is it working? Yay, cool. Nice job. Yeah. Maybe like, let's say the nose, you want to make just one thin line. Yeah, it doesn't have to be uh, the lips also can be maybe simplified. Yeah. That's why from time to time, check it, how it's turning out there. I would advise you to include the neck And if you have there also the t-shirt, so we just make it part of the composition. If, let's say, you don't have there, it's just the face, and of course you can invent t-shirt and well, I have left my hair out because we just kind of taking the face and doing all those flowery parts around. Again, if you want, then yeah, so let's say maybe there had the t-shirt face, and then of course we're going to be improving the portrait more and yes. So basically, how much you need to transfer? That enough that you kind of can recognize yourself, because then later you, of course, you are free to improve right on your portrait. Yeah, you can take then later anything, the brush, the pencils, and like improve the lines if they're not perfectly clear or And the next steps will be totally free according to your artistic will. So let's say if you feel the lack of flowers, of the spots, you can play a bit more with watercolors. So what other options there are? You can take maybe color pencils or markers. And what you can do, you can also play with outlines. Yeah? So let's say if you find some shape of the flowers or whatever, you can also like start just maybe finding some shapes that, for example. So basically what the end result that we want to have, different interesting spots, colorful shapes around our face. And of course, colors you choose the ones that represent you or that you are in the mood for today. Yeah. So I'm playing now a little bit of discovering flower patterns in my watercolor surroundings. And then you can start jumping from material to material. Let's say then with acrylic paint, one can cover the t-shirt, can cover some emptinesses.
Like, my transfer didn't really work, but it worked enough so then I could go on the paper and just like trace from the lines that I had.
Exactly, Ellie. Yeah, good one. So you've traced enough that you have correctly your proportions. And now, of course, you can, if you already see some lines of your face, go and improve them on the paper. Yes. Thanks for bringing it up. Exactly. It can also depend on the paper you have. It depend also on oil pastels. Some of them are not that oily, so it might be, you know, like the
I don't
trend.
know if it's enough oil pastel, but like,
Yeah, I know. So the thing is not amount you put, but the consistency of oil pastel itself. Some of them are just, for some reason, less oily. But if it worked in some way, then perfect. Because our aim was just to transfer nicely, so the face we have there looks like us, yeah? So I played a bit with markers, outlining some flowers. Now I'm gonna bring a bit more watercolor spots. But then definitely we're gonna jump also like at the end to the acrylics, just bringing some more solid spots. The face. So of course the face you can also turn into some a bit like colors that are, crossing your face. Of course, as we talked, like still gonna try to keep the face lighter, but still it can be fun having some colors. What I also now remember that I forgot, that of course watercolors are repelled by all pastels. So even if here now I'm going with my brush over my face, it stays kind of, yeah, the lines are there because remember oil and water, they're not friends, they're not mixing. So and in the end, it's, I would say, pretty much easy technique to make a self-portrait. It's more about fun and creativity to creating all those. One can also change the sequence. You can first, let's say, transfer calmly your self-portrait, and then start making the, you know, surroundings. The more I work with watercolors, each time I realize that the way watercolors are mixing themselves are always better than when I'm trying to create some spots with brush. So in this case, just I'm letting watercolors connect themselves. I'm just splashing spots and then moving my paper around. And it always gives me more creative result. Rather me. And then again, from time to time, give your watercolors rest, let them dry. Then they're gonna change a bit. Remember when watercolors are drying, they look different. And then you can start seeing some other, you know, shapes, flowers. Then you can start shaping them as well. Mhm. So you can also think about the color of your eyes. Then you can, of course, like emphasize, because we know that eyes in portrait, of course, is one of the important parts. So if you have, let's say, green eyes, you can make them even more greenish. Or you can like have fun and experiment, like you can change the color of the eyes you have. Just what I'm saying, you make them active. So if the outline of our face can be like captured in like partly, then eyes should be like emphasized. Yeah, and for this I'm changing also to acrylics. First, they're easier to control, and also they're not afraid of oil pastel that we have as a copy. So I have put color to my eyes. But then also I will need to make a little bit also darker. But let's say eyelashes and the rest, maybe I can make them, so that I will not make them black. I think I will want to have just, I will take like dark purple to, and here, of course, I'm using tiny brushes because those are tiny areas. And of course, like the black circle of the eyes, let's keep it black. Because if you change and you make it lighter, then kind of the eyes getting lost. Yeah? I agree that making eyes can be not the easy part. Don't worry, it's also something you practice and you get better. So if this is your first time doing eyes and this kind of realistic eyes, then no worries. When you do your self-portrait or portrait of another person, number 100, you will definitely be better. Okay, I made my lips a bit too dark, or I don't know, maybe too light. Well, there is nothing acrylics can't improve. And I also would suggest then making the t-shirt in some also solid way. So then, let's say we can have I got a bit messy with my lips, but just need to wait and improve it. Also, maybe making a bit darker around the face, so just around it. So, yeah, so then it brings also a little bit shapy outline. So if we try to analyze what kind of style of art it is, I would definitely already call it like contemporary art, and we can say it's a mixed media. Yes, we've used the different techniques, different mediums, starting from watercolors, oil pastel. I'm using acrylics now. There were also markers. You can have pencils, really. If there are any spots that, let's say, didn't turn out as you want, remember, just wait till it's dry and you can yeah, improve them. And the magic of paper towel is really working. And of course, remember of such thing as overdoing. Yeah, so, and how you can feel it. So once you feel your drawing is getting worse and not better, that's the moment to stop. And finding those shapes around the dried watercolor is really nice. And you can also, let's say, use the watercolor markers. Then later you can also blend them in a bit, partially. Very nice. An easy way to correct dark spots. So let's say here I have dark spots. I had the idea putting dark around the face. So I thought it's gonna like make face look more visible, but somehow they turned too dark. So I'm just taking white acrylics as they are. And I'm just putting a white acrylic layer on top, but making them so not that thick, a bit like half transparent. And it gives it's the nice, like, so the layer becomes pale. It's nice because
I think I'm done because every time I try and do something, it just makes it worse. So
good, Ellie. I'm glad you heard my advice. So that's nice. Leave it rest. It can also be that later when it's totally dry, you find anything you want.
I think like I made it worse, but I also made it better somehow. Because like I got a brown stain around my eye because I did only black in my eye, and then it was like then I tried to erase part of it because we didn't have white, but then Juliet found white. So then I used white, but now I have a bunch of blue around my eye because I put blue oil pastels so that the brown wouldn't show because the brown looked weird. But yeah.
Wow, what an adventure Ellie had with her self-portrait.
But I think it's gonna drip.
Yeah, so definitely. Of course, I'm very curious to see, but I'm willing that your self-portraits look nice. So I'm sure later on or next lesson you can show me, or your mom can send me photo. But please, yeah, because mine one also is really, really wet and no. Yeah, and I'm sure when it's gonna be completely dry, I will go improving the outlines for the flowers. Yeah, because now it's still too wet, and then the markers are like just not working. Cool, but share with me, Ellie, how was it fun? Was it difficult?
It was fun and it was like kind of hard, but I liked it. And I want to do it again another time.
Wow, yeah, I'd love to. So which part was hard?
So like, well, some of it didn't work out. Like the watercolor was really fun, but then like the eyes were kind of hard. And when I put the oil pastel on, like it went through. But then I had to trace it with a pencil. And then a bunch of things went wrong because I accidentally did my hair too puffy. So then I put purple around it instead and then made my blue my hair. So like
Wow.
I don't know, but it was like fun.
Yeah. Wow, what an experience and so many materials. And this is what artists do, that they find the way out of those difficulties. So like you said, oh, I tried this, it didn't work. I took this and so on. And that's basically what artist's job is finding those solutions.
It was really fun.
Cool. We can also try, so you can find anything. Maybe we can trace some animal. We can trace a cat. I mean, of course, cat we can also just draw, let's say. That's why the portrait is, because it's something hard to draw. That's why we traced it. But in itself, you can give it a thought, and yeah, you can also give a present to your friends. So if you have a photo of your friend, they'll be like, wow, how you did it. Because of course people are amazed about portraits or something that they think is really, really hard to draw. But yeah, we definitely then, I'm happy you liked it. So we're definitely doing it some other time. You already know what you need. So anytime you just need to print out and yeah, I think I'm also can say the same. I'm making worse. So time to stop. Bring back some white, some areas. All right. I'm saying also stop for this experiment. Let's take the save off. Oh, what an experiment today. Juliet,
I'm done. I'm
tell
done,
me.
but it's still wet.
Yeah. Don't lift up. But share, please. How was it for you?
It's pretty hard, but also pretty fun.
Good. Well, I'm glad you had fun. And generally, yes, artist's job is hard. So it all was correct today. Hard and fun. Nice girls. So yeah, let it dry, clean up, and then we meet next week with a new experiment. Cool, girls.
Wait, I might be able to show it. Okay, I'm able to show it. I'm able to show it.
Okay. Awesome. A little bit higher, please. Wow, that's so cool. It does look like you, Ellie. Hey, this is such an awesome self-portrait.
Remember, you have to clean up all this stuff. What do you mean? I'm washing brushes, remember? Mm, okay.
Thank you for showing, Ellie. This was totally lovely. I love your choice of colors that you didn't went like with all bunch of colors that you really chose. That was nice. I really like now I like your choice of colors better than mine. I wish I went with a pale blue and violet. That was fun.